Alright, so I figured I'd do a first impressions on a Bible, and I haven't done one of those in a long time, and it usually becomes the full review. This time, I'm going to do it this way. There's a Bible that I've been using frequently, and that is the ESV wide margin from Crossway, and I haven't yet decided. There's actually, well, two Bibles. One I haven't started using, which is the interleaved Bible from Crossway, where I'm going to put my more exhaustive notes in. And then the wide margin will be my abbreviated notes and references, all that. But as far as a reading Bible, or what I can say a workhorse Bible, where I could carry it everywhere, I could do that with the wide margin, but I would be more afraid of taking it everywhere and possibly ruining or damaging any kind of moisture or something like that, the paper with my notes in it. So I'm doing a first impressions on this. I'll have a full review, because what I'm going to do with this too is I'll do what I'm doing now, just my first impressions on it, and then I will do a review on it, and then I'll do a follow-up review a year later, how the Premier collection, or this particular Bible, has held up for a year of reading through the Bible. Now, this has kind of been inspired from different people. Casey Fleet is doing one. He did already a whole year through a bonded leather NIV that I guess held up really well. So what I want to start doing is things like that on these premium Bibles, because I've had premium Bibles in the past that just don't last. They look, they feel it, but they just don't last. That's the problem. I don't think we're having so much that problem anymore. I've noticed publishers are really taking everything seriously to every little aspect on there, but on when they put together a Bible. But this is the King James, New King James, single column reference Bible in the Premier collection. The features, it's got a premium goatskin leather cover. Now this is a full grain leather cover, full grain. So it's not just going to be the top grain, which I notice like some other Bible publishers used to use or still use, but it's the full grain of the leather. So it's a real thick cut of leather, which we'll see here in a second. It's Smith sewn. It's got art gilding. It's got gilt line stamped around the perimeter and then the stitching. It's got premium European Bible papers, 36 GSM, wonderful paper. It's a black letter text, which I love my black letter text. I'm not a big red letter guy. It's got 3 satin ribbons. They're 3/8 an inch, but they're only single satin, let you know that. It's got an extensive cross-reference system, a generous YAP, clear and readable 10.5 print size, 10.5. So it's 1 point off of the Preaching Bible, which I have a couple of those I'll be reviewing along with some other Bibles that Nelson have sent. But my first impression of this Bible was wow. I do have another one from the Premier collection, which is the King James version, center column large print reference edition, and that is just a wonderful Bible. I don't use it a lot, so I really can't do a crash test on that one, but this one I'll be doing a crash test on. The reason why is because the size. This thing it's pretty thick, but I like the size of it. This is something I could carry everywhere and have no problem carrying it. So my first impressions were, pretty much the same with the other one. I noticed that at the bottom it seems like there might be a little bit more of a generous YAP compared to the King James. It could be the same. It just might be my eyes fooling me. It does have a nice grain going all different directions. Really, really nice grain. And what I noticed with this, here's that full grain. See how thick that is? That fold over? They use that whole sheet of leather. So this Bible, it's just, that's impressive. Full grain leather is the best way you can go. So if you got goatskin and it's full grain, that's great. Because a lot of the old Cambridge Bibles, and they might still do it today, they don't use the full grain of the goatskin. I could be wrong though. I know I'm pretty sure Crossway does, and I'm pretty sure Cambridge does now, but there was a time where it seemed too thin, or maybe they just skived it a little bit too much. Genuine goatskin leather cover. It's got, and this gilt line, I love the way they do their gilt line on this. Compared to even Skylar, I like this. It's bolder, it's thicker, it looks really, really nice. Of course, it is tabbed into the block, so it's an edge-lined Bible. It's got a genuine leather liner. I'm not sure on the leather. It feels like calf to me. It feels like a cowhide or some kind of calf skin. It is ironed out, of course, for the liner. This is just really where it stands out, because these Bibles, they go for $80-something online. Look at that art gilding. It's just beautiful. It's done flawlessly. Just a beautiful Bible. So I like that. I like that how the references are all pushed to the bottom. So that way, if you want to do some writing, you have room to do so. Even when you get into, say, the New Testament. There's a lot more references, but you still have a little bit of room. Just that little bit of room can make a big difference for people that like to take notes or put their own references in. Let's see if it lays flat. Let's see if it lays flat from Genesis 1. So we'll take it, push it down. Yeah, it's already laying flat. Table of contents. Only thing keeping it up is that end sheet there. So it does good on that. Like I said, this is just my first impressions of it. Here's your single satin ribbons. Very nice ribbons. They have a rough texture on one side, and then that smooth texture on the other side. So that way, what's nice about that is that one side with the texture will keep the ribbons from sliding back and forth, which you'll see with Beresfords. So this could either be a con or a pro. I kind of consider it a pro. That way your ribbons ain't flying around. So when you set that ribbon, especially if you want to sit it at a diagonal so it puts less press onto the paper, less weight on the paper, you can do that and it doesn't move around near as much as a double satin ribbon. But either way, I like both. I like both. You do have, and this thing is a thick Bible. I'll give the dimensions when I do the review. Man, I love the contrast of those colors. I mean, look at that red, especially like the bolder book titles. Just very, very nice. What I do like about the New King James is they have not just your references, but you're going to have your variant readings, some of them in here. Let me see. In fact, we'll go to Deuteronomy 32 is one of my favorite spots to check. See if they translate, because I know they probably didn't translate it the way I would have it, like the ESV has it translated, sons of God, which I believe is the correct rendering. Especially when you know the storyline of the Old Testament into the New Testament. If you've never read Michael Heiser, I really encourage you to read his book, The Unseen Realm, or Supernatural. Supernatural is more of a condensed version of that, but it's neither here nor there, but I guarantee it will give you a better grasp on the Old Testament and what the writers were thinking when they were writing the Bible and inspired by the Holy Spirit to write. So, let's see here. Do need to get a new camera, and I think that's it. When he separated the sons of Adam, and it does have a B, so let's look down here. B, yeah, here it, okay, 11:8. Let's see if I can get that to focus in. Okay, see, it shows so you got your Septuagint reading is Angels of God. That's good. Not as accurate, I think, as the Dead Sea Scrolls, which has Sons of God. So the ESV will say Sons of God. But see, I don't mind if it's not in the text as long as you have the footnote. I'd rather it be in the text. That's why I stuck to the ESV, went back to it as my main translation of use and study. But I like that the New King James Bible does have those variant readings in here. So let's go through to the back. I love the size of this thing. It's perfect. And the text doesn't go into the gutter. Now it depends, you kind of might have, because it's thick, you might have to move it up like that and read for, but you know, you get the idea. It's very, very easy to use. You do have a very nice concordance in the back. So you have your concordance, and it's a pretty thick concordance because I'm still going in. There's quite a bit here, so I like that. Kind of knew it was there already, but I think every Bible should have this. Why not have it in your Bible? And you can do a little tally marking system. I've said it in other videos. You can get erasable highlighters, and that would be just amazing. And then the maps are on, now there's a light directly above it, so you're going to see that glare. But in more natural lighting, you won't get that glare. It is a glossy, but it's not super glossy like Crossway or something like that. You do have a note regarding the type for 2K Denmark, but I like these maps. I really like these maps. And when I do the review, I'm gonna, since it is summertime, I'm gonna do a lot of reviews outside so I can get real natural light on these. But so, ISBN number. Wow, that is super thick, guys. That is thick. Now, I heard someone say, nice try, Nelson, but it's still not going to be like a Skylar. I don't know about that. As far as I'm concerned, the only difference I would give this compared to a Skylar is Skylar's going to have your raised tubs, and they're going to have double satin ribbons, which the ribbons could be, like I said, a pro or a con depending on what you like. But as far as I'd rather have this goatskin. This is the goatskin I'd pick over Skylar. Or any other goatskin I've seen so far, to be honest with you. And but I have noticed from the King James that it's not as soft, but it's still really soft. And that depends on the hide. This could be a younger goat, so the younger the goat, the softer it would be. The older the goat, of course, the more scarring and the more tough it's going to be, which is good. Goatskin's a good leather, really strong leather. But I really like the goatskin that comes with these, and I actually prefer them more than I do the goatskin that comes with the Skylar. Now Skylar has more of a, well, I guess they're both really sturdy liners. I mean, they're genuine leather, but I would say, guys, this is just as good as owning a Skylar, if not in some ways. As far as the layout, I like better than I do the Quintel layout, the single column, side column reference. So, I mean, and they did good. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up. It's 12 minutes, but yeah, all this is an $80 Skylar Bible, so Skylar's going to have to up their game, guys. It looks like. I mean, I'll do an ink test, and that would really tell me the difference, but if there is a difference in the paper quality. But I really like this paper, this European paper. It feels nice and thick, and I like the contrast. It's a nice, nice Bible. I can't believe these things sell for $80-something on sale. So go to Evangelical Bible and pick up one when you can. And it comes in this box. I think I showed this at the beginning, didn't I? Yeah, I did. But let me show you. When you open the box, it'll be wrapped in this. And that's class. That's class. I like that. Now, somebody had said this. I think it was Brother Eric. So this right here, this stamp, next time they do a premiere, if they do a premiere collection, if they keep on doing it, they should put that symbol right here. I think that would look really cool. And I would rather see tooled lines, but I've noticed how comfortable this is to hold without the hubs. Now, and these are embossed in there. You can feel it. So it should stay on there for a while. I've noticed one thing that people have noticed, like, which is maybe an inconsistency with these, is some people, this has an embossed, stamped, and I'll look at the same Bible and it won't be embossed, and some will. So I think it's something to do with the machine they use to stamp the leather with, but it's not a big deal. So my first impressions, right now I give it a 10 out of 10, or 9 out of 10. The only reason I'd say that is I would rather have the tooled in hubs there, and really the ribbons, that's something that can either be a pro or a con, so I'm not even going to go there. The art gilding, everything else about this Bible is absolutely fantastic. So until the review, good day and God bless.